We are live. Awkward pause
This
as I
is
get
happening.
everything together. Hey, welcome, you wonderful, wonderful human beings, to Fate Script Presents Echoes of Divinity, the season premiere. Wow, you can see my stress rash already forming out of crippling fear and anxiety, but here we are, a long time coming. How good, so exciting. I want to start off by saying a huge, huge thank you to everyone for being here, and also to everyone who has jumped in and retweeted everything on the socials. This has been a very long time coming, and I've had some wonderfully patient players sitting here ready to go, so thank you so much. Before we jump in, we do have a couple of really quick shout outs. Fate's Group is, as always, partnered with Ardent Roleplay. Thank you so much. You will catch us on Tuesdays at 6:45 p.m. Using their augmented reality technology. You might even see a cheeky ad in our rolling video. And I've got to do a huge shout out to the players who organised this. All of the character art you see tonight is done by Syrup Knight, Maple Dragon. Thank you so much. Very, very much appreciate it. And appreciate, I know a couple of you conspired against me and got this all done. So thank you so much once again to my wonderful players for organising the character art you see tonight. But enough about me and enough about me talking. Let's go around and meet our wonderful players. I'm going to get you guys to introduce yourselves. Please don't spoil your characters just yet. Let's just talk about you, who you are, where we can find you when you're not here. Promethean, would you like to kick us off, please?
Sure, why not? I basically live here now. So yeah, I'm Promethean. You can find me all of the places that have the name Promethean on it on the internet. And here quite a lot. Thirsty Thursdays, Scream Team Sundays as a disembodied voice. Now here doing this, which is incredible, and I'm super excited because all of these people are very cool, and I can't wait to play with all of you. It's going to be heaps of fun. Yay! And also OzQuest, check us out. Sunday for session 2 of Sword of the Skulls. While I learn the noob DM cogs.
I love it. Thank you for always being here and for always letting me bully you into to joining all of our streams. Next up, one of two Chris's, Chris Ito. I know we've seen you before, right? Where have we seen you?
Season 1. Yes.
Yeah, and who would we know you
on
as?
Fate Script, sorry, yeah. So I played a character named Barclays the Viper, and it was lots of fun. And so I have a bit of a connection to a couple of players here. Where will you find me? Probably in the multiverse, wherever that is, or right here on Fate Script.
You've got some number one fans in the chat. I know Saz, and Saz has been very excited about you coming back. And NBC is also super excited that you are here. So welcome back, Chris. We're very excited to have you here. It wouldn't be a Fate Script stream without a second Chris. Chris number 2, who are you?
Don't worry about me. I'm just here to augment the Chris's at this stage. Hello, it's me. Back to you, Emily.
Power of 2. Great 2.
Thank you, Deetwenty, for always letting me bully you. Hey, Tammy, you're up.
Oh, I can be found on Twitter and Threads as Talera79 since I've just started there, kind of. I don't really stream on my own stuff. I tend to either troll people's chats, especially when they're doing world building streams and trying to use naming conventions in a very serious manner, or popping into guest roles on other people's streams and stuff like that. When it comes to running my own stuff, I don't tend to run it online. I tend to run it in person because, like Emily, I get incredibly nervous about that sort of thing. But hopefully something like this will open that up a bit.
We relate very heavily on that. Also, worth noting, as Shadowmere mentions, you do the best commentary whilst playing games because you're a liar. I have seen you stream before many a time. Thank you so much, Tammy. Last but certainly not least, Ben.
Hello, I'm obviously named Ben, and we just named me. I am a part of the Fate Script crew. I've been there with them since the beginning. I played, I don't even remember, Rook in season 1 and Hood in season 2. And I'm glad to be here joining another part of a stream.
Congratulations on being given a name just now.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
really, really exciting for you.
Yeah, Guy. I've just been calling you Guy.
This is my first time DMing a campaign, so we're gonna go through and learn this together. And the number one thing I guess the chat should know about me is that I'm a big rule of cool gal. So I'm sorry, feel free to throw the rule book at me, but I'm here for the fun. How are you feeling? Are we ready?
So ready.
Great. That makes
Shucker's ready.
that makes that makes most of you and none of me. But it's gonna be great. But let's jump in. And we're in the world of Durmada. The sun is sitting incredibly high in the sky as the Ember Festival draws to a close. It's been a long Ember season, and as it comes to a close, the chill in the air hints to a very early sign of the next season, and that's the season of harvest. The history of Durmada is long and uncertain, and to a point, it's somewhat undocumented. Once completely void of life, Durmada was considered by the gods as lost and a cause not worth the effort it would take to rebuild, at least for the greater gods. Instead, they sent what they considered a worthy substitute, known as the Siblings, to restore Durmada to its former glory. Delane, Matisha, Nalani, and Thalassa, given a corner of Durmada each to rule over, the deities began their work. Like most having their arguments along the way, there was one thing the siblings could agree on as a whole, and that's that magic was troublesome and something to be feared. Sediva, the city of Scorch, rebuilt by the eldest sibling Delane, a desert-like oasis of endless trade and marketplaces, theatre and art districts, and home of the Sedivan Guard and one of Durmada's only rulers, King Arevik. Ascendus, the resting place or home of the lost, nurtured by Matisha, the eldest daughter. Ascendus was once known as a place where knowledge knew no bounds and home of one of the biggest magic academies in Durmada. However, now the earth lays dark and ashen and a suitable location for Durmada's biggest cemetery. Kaivala, known for its snowy mountaintops, rich farmlands, and humble townsfolk. It's one of the smaller cities, if you could even call it that. However, has one of the stricter borders in Durmada. Nalani, the sibling's middle child, watches over here. However, it's what's below the surface that sets Kaivala apart from its other cities. Endless mines and sources of rare minerals. And finally, Maluhia, its bright and colourful landscapes, a mishmash of different races and cultures, dedicated to nature and growth, ruled over by Thalassa, the siblings' youngest. Maluhia is endless squares of lively taverns, theatres, gardens, and restaurants. It is governed by a single belief: in order to take, you must to give, a symbol of its dedication to growth and nature. The siblings walked this material plane, breathing new life into the soil. They grew crops, trees, and they saved those ridden with disease, afflictions, and ultimately nurtured the once barren land back to its former glory. Eventually, they returned to their home plane to watch over Durmada's people. However, our story is going to start within the walls of the capital of Durmada, and that's Agora. You're all awoken, or at least, no, you're definitely awake, but as you exhale and you all look around, it is complete and utter darkness. You all attempt to blink and to clear your vision, but it's still completely pitch black. And as you take a moment, you can't hear much, but a drip, drop, drip of water off in the distance. It's like a tap that hasn't been shut off completely. And then you hear footsteps behind you, just a single step. And it's the click clack of heels against cobblestone. It's then that you notice that you're all actually kneeling and you can feel that cold stone beneath your knees. You're all very disoriented and confused. And as some of you attempt to stand, you would all notice that your hands are bound behind your back. And you can feel a burning sensation against your wrists, almost like rope. As you take a moment to reevaluate, nothing. Except for you, Promethean. You feel a sharp point in the center of your throat. And at first you think it's a blade. But as a burlap bag is pulled from your head, you feel a feminine hand tilt your chin upwards. And you realize that it's the point of a long fingernail. You blink a couple of times to adjust to your surroundings. And as you look around, could you please describe your character?
Certainly can. Velendar is a drow who you won't be able to see because the rest of you have burlap sacks over your head still. So suck it. But he has purple skin, extremely stark white hair, very kind of emo-ishly draped over one eye all of the time. No matter what angle you look at this guy from, you'll only ever see one silvery eye glittering out from the part between the two. He's completely wearing black with far too many buckles and hooks and little secret places on the jacket that he wears. And if we still have our gear on us, you would notice the hilt of a whole bunch of knives sticking out from assorted places within that kit.
It's funny because as you look down, you still have them all attached to you. It's as though you don't even remember how you got here. And as you look to your left and to your right, you see two people on each side of you, and you can't make out this figure in front of you. It's like a dark shadow almost. And they move directly to the person to your left. And you watch as the sack is then ripped off their head. And Tammy, could you please describe what Promethean would see or what Velendar would see?
So Scarlet is sort of medium height. She is actually quite slender. She doesn't have a very stocky build. She's got the type of build that someone like a dancer or a Pilates person would have. But she's wearing like a leather cheerleader costume almost. She has this giant mace on her back with a shield also on her back that says "You smile, jerk." And when the sack is pulled off her head, she would basically act as nonchalant as she can and do the whole as if she's blowing hair out of her face while looking around. And our drow friend would recognize her as the winner of the chili eating contest the night before.
It's funny because as you two look at each other, you do in fact recognize each other, and you recognize each other quite well. And as you, Tammy, or Scarlet, look around, and to your left, and the next sack is ripped off the head of the next party member. Ito, could you describe what Vigmund looks like, please?
All right, so Vigmund is a halfling. He has a kind of reddish hair. He does have a beard, so kind of still kind of nicely kept, but there's still, I don't know, he looks like a character that has been engrossed in his craft. So he kind of does look like he's done some time at work. Now, he's got kind of, I would say, a chef's uniform. He doesn't wear a chef's hat, but he does have kind of the garb that goes over the front. He does also have a lot of pockets and a belt over his back. So he does have a belt which goes above his shoulder, and behind him is attached to his back is a very long, intricate spoon, wooden spoon. He also has a belt as well, which is his bread and a tool belt. Okay, so it's nice to see that there is still a bagel in there. He also has various different pockets and stuff like that, things like condiments, that type of thing as well, because he is also a chef. Oh, did I give away too much?
No, you're perfect. Because as Vigmund's sack is lifted off his head, you actually smell the faint sense of like a berry jam. You can't identify the fruit, but you can both smell this immediately. And as you're all taking stock of where you are and who's around you, Chris, you feel suddenly like you can see once more. And as you look to your left, you see 3 others. Could you please describe what you look like to these people?
As the bag is pulled off, literally there is a tumble of brown curly hair that just explodes into the room. The hair almost has a life of its own, and seems to move against gravity and reality in a number of different ways, as it just seems to rather curiously just kind of coil around. You see a middle-aged human. He is looking bemused rather than anything else at the state of affairs. Can't really see anything because it's pitch black, so he's blinking an awful lot and popping his jaw as if when you go through the pressure on your ears goes through. He's trying to reorientate himself. Looks like he half dressed himself or half failed to dress himself. Looks has a bagpipe across one shoulder, a travel bag across another, and around his waist he seems to have a profusion of pouches stuffed full of items.
And as you see Marcus revealed, and the hair just fall out of this burlap sack, you like for a moment wonder how all of this hair fit under this burlap sack. And as you all look upon the last person in your party, Ben, would you like to describe your character, please?
Yes, I will be playing Sol. He has quite a shaggy, unkept beard that's brownish, dark blonde. He wouldn't be wearing his hat as the bag's been pulled off. It's probably tied around his neck from a lace that's keeping it close by. It's quite shaggy, thick, coarse hair, rather probably unwell kept. In regards to what he is wearing, he's wearing an oversized duster's trench coat. And the hat's probably his other most outstanding feature, which is a slouch hat that has a pin attached to it that's keeping it to the side of a scepter and 2 snakes that wrabble around it. Other than that, his clothing underneath the coat's a bit hard to see, but if you can gleam it, there's belts and bandoliers. And he's just wearing like a red kind of like flannel underneath.
And as you all look at each other, these are familiar faces that you've traveled with for quite some time now. In fact, these are your friends of months. You've been through a lot together, and it dawns on you how long that time has been as this figure steps forward from the shadows She is adorning a deep emerald green cloak. And as she steps forward and reaches up for her hood, you hear her say, "Well, now that I have your attention, I believe we have some business to tend to." And she begins to remove the hood of her cloak. But let's go back to the beginning. And that is the day after the Emberfest. We come to a familiar tavern. And Scarlet, you hear the sounds in the background as you wake up. And as you come to, you notice there is a chill to the air that wasn't there yesterday. You find yourself clutching onto the blankets in this bedroom that you are in, more than you would have throughout Ember. Harvest is the start of one of the cooler months. And as you look around your surroundings, you remember that you are in fact in the stormy night. And you reflect upon your night before and where you would look down and expect to see, well, not expect to, you've come to realize that you heal quicker than most people now. But where you would expect bruises to be, you don't see them. If you were in fact someone that weren't to heal so quickly. You do smell a sweet scent in the air, and having met your new companions last night, you would recognize this scent as knuckleberry and syrup. And knuckleberry, you are very familiar with, is a fruit from Maluhia, the size of a peach. And as you look around, you notice that you are in fact alone in this room. Following your adventure last night, Mila had offered you this room. What would you like to do?
Well, first things first, if I can smell knuckleberry, I know there are some baked goods downstairs, and having experienced Vigmund's baked goods the day before, I think I would be pulling on my clothes rather quickly and racing downstairs to grab some before they're all gone.
Absolutely. So as you make your way out of the room and downstairs into the familiar tavern, you do see Mila standing behind the bar. She's cleaning off some glasses and wiping down the bar. And you do notice off to the side is your friend Vigmund, who looks as though they are carrying a basket of baked goods. Vigmund, what would you have been doing up until this moment?
I would have been going through my tightly kept, almost secretive book of recipes. I would have been trying to take inventory of what's needed and also preparing a plan for the morning's baked goods. Then I would have been downstairs probably fairly early, well before sunup, getting my hands dirty, getting that flour going. And baking what I do.
Yeah, and the Stormy Night is somewhere that you quite often provide baked goods for. And you know that following the Emberfest, you were cleaned out quite quickly. And having spread the word of the Seven Cats Bakery, people are very much out seeking your baked goods. You do, in fact, see your new friend Scarlet make their way down the stairs as well.
All right. Should we get into it?
So she'll basically race up and it's like, Vigmund, please tell me you've got some of those Danishes from yesterday. They were so good. And I'm really hungry after last night. Like, really hungry. And did you end up making something? Because we've got like that thing later today that the woman who disappeared, even though magic's not meant to be here, she wanted to take us to that meeting later today. And I didn't know if you were going to make something special for that. But can I just grab some food now, please?
Good morning, Scarlet. Well, yes, I've made today's usual assortment of, let's say, fine delicacies, but why don't you come over here? I got something actually special for you.
Yes, baked goods and carbs. I totally need carbs. I used so many of them last night.
I look up and I look around. I'm like, all right, now's a chance. Okay, I've got this special pie for you. It's called a snuggle drop pie.
And she'll like sneak it out, and she'll like head into like a booth where she can like hide in the corner and eat it behind something. But while she's eating politely, she's not making a mess of it. She's definitely eating speedily, like she's used to people trying to take her food or something like that.
As you're holding it as well, you notice that it's roughly the size of a spaghetti jar. Could I get Velendar to please make a perception check?
Absolutely.
Roll the campaign.
Starting off well with a 9.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Should use chunky.
The first thing you would notice, Velendar, is this sickly, acidic taste in your mouth. And it's sour, and you feel like a burning in the back of your throat still, like residual from the spice that you consumed the night earlier. Some well, some not so well. And it doesn't taste good. On top of that, you do hear some general mutterings, and you realize you definitely fell asleep in this bar last night.
Excellent. In the bar, as in like
In the bar. You are curled up, nice in a corner. You are quite cold though, as it seems the fire has in fact gone out for the day.
Brilliant. Well, this is somewhat embarrassing. Is there anyone who could get me some wine?
You would both hear this as well.
And he'll just kind of click his fingers, not impatiently, just try to get someone's attention who can acquire something to get the taste out of his mouth.
Scarlet, you would probably notice this first, having snuck off to attempt to devour this spaghetti jar-sized pastry. You do notice a figure curled up. They almost look hungover in the corner, clicking their fingers and muttering bitterly.
You should try his baked goods.
Mm,
Like seriously, do you want a bite? I can share. Do you want a bite?
I'll take anything right now to remove whatever this awful taste is. But I'd still very much like wine. Can you get me wine?
Well, I'm not a waiter, but I can get you wine. It's easy enough. It's at the bar. I
That
had
would
Vito.
be
It's cool.
wonderful.
Okay. One bite. I want some left when I come back. It's good. Trust me. And she'll go up and get some wine from Miller.
Excellent. And so this pastry that's offered, is it already partially eaten?
Yes.
Excellent. Velendar then will take one of his daggers and just cut away a portion of it that hasn't been nommed near, and we'll have a little gobble on that. And happily accepts the wine if it's being given as well.
So she'll come back and she'll like put the wine down. Isn't the pastry awesome? It's just what I needed after last night. You were at the chili eating contest. I saw you there. You could have done better.
I saw you.
You could have done better if you'd hooked up with that guy. And she'll point over to Vigmund. Totally fixed us up with stuff that kills half the heat when you eat the chili.
That's cheating. I love it.
No, well, I was going to say there was no rules. It's not really cheating. What we did before we got there was it.
Brilliant play. Is that how you won?
Yeah, that's why like well, Sol's not here yet, but like Sol was eating that too. Like tall guy, like a particular type hat, kind of scruffy, looks kind of like an ex-soldier or something like that.
You'll have to remind me. I don't recall. Was there a prize?
Yeah, there was gold.
How much gold?
Like 25 gold.
Not a lot of gold. If you'll excuse me just a moment, I just have to to check something really quickly. And Velendar will just kind of swig around some of the wine, just still trying to clear this chili taste then. And he's going to have a ritual wherever he, semi-ritual, wherever he kind of is at any given morning where he wakes up, especially if it's in some kind of building or establishment. He's just going to just do a quick sneaky check around the perimeter of the building, specifically looking to see if anyone looks like they're kind of casing the joint or are themselves looking for anyone who might be staying there.
Can
Okay.
I notice what he's doing, given what I've been doing for the past 6 months?
Are you trying to be sneaky about this, Velendar?
Not sneaky hidden, sneaky subtle. So it would
Yeah.
appear like he's just going for a nice little morning stroll around the building.
Yeah, okay. So a couple of different things. Tammy, I'll get you to make a insight check.
Oh, that's
Um,
going to be terrible.
for yourself, Velenda, I will get you to make an investigation check, please.
Which is a much healthier 16.
I got a
Cool.
3.
You're almost offended, Scarlet. You have given this person your attention. You have sought out wine for them. You have shared your pastry. And this person is just going for a stroll. Not even an invite.
Didn't say goodbye. Did he leave anything there at all?
No, not a thing.
Not even like the rest of wine or anything like that?
No, he's taking the wine with him on the stroll.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, go for it. What are you doing?
All right, Vigmund, in a bit of a fluster, looking a little bit
Watching this, by the
frustrated.
way, and like,
Yeah, I run over to Scarlet and I say, "Hello. How was it? How was the pie?"
Oh my God, Vigmund. I tell you what, if you ever decide to go traveling and stuff like that, I've got the perfect place where you can go traveling all over Durmada for like 6 months of the year, and there will be people just buying your shit left, right, and center.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Quick, eat this.
And she'll start eating the next thing.
I handed just like this kind of little kind of a square piece of what almost looks like a Turkish delight, right? I'm like, good, get that down. How was that?
So that actually is reminiscent of some of like the fancies and stuff that I used to have when I was like growing up and stuff. You could actually sell that to some higher tier clientele, my man.
Excellent. So let me quickly explain something. I did my manifest this morning and I got my ingredients as expected, except they were delivered. They were delivered by somebody I've never really known or met before. I inspected the ingredients. However, they put something that looked very similar next to something else, which I put in the pie. Okay. Turns out that wasn't the snaggle drop that I expected. It was the snuggle pop. Okay. Problem with the snuggle pop is don't really cook with it that much. Reason being is it's medicinal. It helps clear the bowels. Clear the bowels. Yeah. So what I just gave you is something else that will stop that from happening. An anti-diuretic. Now, did someone else eat that pie?
Yes. But he's an asshole, so it's okay.
I see. And is he gone?
Yeah, he went for a walk outside.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I hope he brought his shitting pants.
speaking of,
Let's
Well
just say it was
played.
something else. It was the wine.
Belinda, as you're also semi-casing the joint, not to rob it, but to see if anyone is is actually intending on casing this place, or paying particular attention to you. You don't see anyone inspecting the building. You do see a couple of people packing up. You see a couple of carts from stalls from the night before. You watch as some travelers leave. Nothing too insane. You can see basically what this square looks like at the moment. This marquetta. It's very evident that there was a festival here the night before. There's a couple of drunk people passed out near the fountain. But everyone's late starting, and it does feel like it's around 11 a.m. at the moment. So really activity is only just beginning after a big night.
Okay. I think Velendar, just to keep in practice, would have to give picking the pockets of anyone who looks properly out of it a crack as he walks along.
Yeah, 100%. And you, without even much of an effort, stumble across what looks like, funnily enough, someone that had left the chili stall the night before, someone that you recognize that was just cheering you on. And it seems as though they might have some sort of a gambling problem, because as you reach into their pocket, you pull out 10 gold pieces. You also pull out a small candy wrapper that still has like what looks like half-eaten gum in it that's been chewed and then spat back out.
Right.
Not great.
It's disgusting. We'll just kind of throw it onto their whatever sodden body and continue the stroll around.
Speaking of disgusting, Sol, you...
It's a great analogy, thanks.
I do have a point. You wake up and you blink a few times. You had quite your fill of rum after the festivities of the night before. You remember stumbling off to bed quite late in the evening or early morning even, and you can feel a headache right in the front of your skull and in your temples. But you also feel like your mouth is completely numb. You move your tongue around the inside of your mouth for a moment, and it's like when you burn your tongue and it feels like it's slightly raised. It doesn't feel good. And you feel like if you were to eat something, you probably couldn't taste it. You too smell knuckleberries and various pastry-like scents coming from downstairs. What would you like to do?
I'm upstairs in my own room, am I?
You are.
Groggy and disorientated, I'd take a moment to try and collect myself and use this as an opportune time to test something on myself. And if this is after a long rest,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my experimental elixirs to try and create something to help me out.
Yeah, cool. What are you creating?
Well, I'm going to roll on a table that's specified.
Fabulous. Poison self immediately.
And then I'll tell you what that is. So I rolled a 2, and that would be... I know, this is a DM question, I guess, because it's called experimental elixir. I don't know if I'm supposed to know what it is, but the table's there for it. It's a potion of swiftness. The drinker's walking speed increases by 10 feet for 1 hour.
Yeah, beautiful. It is like an icy blue looking liquid, and as you look into it, it almost looks cloudy. It looks like it's moving consistently, almost like where you have mica powder inside something. Are you drinking it?
Yeah, so I'll roll out my alchemist satchel and herbalism kit and medicine kit, create that, and I'll just down it.
Yeah, cool. You wait for it to taste like anything, and it just feels warm, like almost like you've got a mouthful of saliva. It has like a thickness to it, but it tastes like nothing. You do, however, feel like you are going to move very fast, at least for the next hour.
Do I feel perked up by that?
Yeah, to a certain degree, the headache doesn't disappear. In fact, as you start to move, it feels good. You feel more energetic, but at the same time, like with how fast you're moving, you're not used to moving at that pace. And every now and again, you just get a pang of nausea in your stomach.
In which case, I'll wrap everything up, chuck it back in my satchels. I guess, is it like a bowl of water or something that's in the room?
Yeah. You see a like a trough that looks like you could splash some water on your face. It does look clean. The trough looks weathered, but it doesn't look dirty.
I'm just gonna dunk my head in there.
It's pee. No, I'm joking. Yeah, as you dunk your head in there, you can feel the water all over and in your hair and your beard. It feels refreshing. That headache, though, is still sitting there right in the front.
I'll kind of dry myself off a little bit and make my way to the scent that is the food downstairs.
Speaking of, if everyone could posture check and hydrate, that would be great. You make your way out of the room, and as you look around, you realize you're quite far down the hall. You've been in this hallway before. In fact, you were all led through door number 3 the very night before. As you start to make your way towards the stairs, you hear a loud thunk. And Marcus, this thunk awakens you, and you sit up very quickly from a deep sleep. It's almost like that feeling of falling that just awakens you really quickly and scares you. And as you look down onto the floor, you notice your book that you carry with you has been dropped, and it's almost like you fell asleep reading it. You feel fine. You didn't compete in a chili eating contest. You didn't do anything silly the night before. You feel great. You're ready for an adventure. What would you like to do?
Stretch, pick up my book, belch loudly, and am I dressed? Am I clothed?
How would you go to sleep?
Nope. Pick up a bedsheet, wrap it around my thing, open the door and say, is it room service? Is it breakfast time?
And Sol, you would watch as this gentleman walks out from his room with only a sheet. Is that correct?
And a book, obviously.
And a book. And almost you think for a moment is addressing you. You're not quite sure.
Hello.
I've met Marcus before.
No, you have not. This is an entirely new person to you.
And look at him and kind of like rub my temple, squint.
There's a lot of body hair, like a lot of body hair. There's just like a lot. And it moves when he kind of scratches it in different directions.
I'm going to make a side comment and say, sir, you look like sheet.
Ah, that was very witty of you. If I had a pen, I'd make a note of it. Are you a guest here? Are you robbing the place? I mean, you seem to be moving at a fast pace.
Does it look like I'm robbing the place?
Funny conversation, that. Well, time for breakfast. Is this a formal place or is this okay?
Well, to be quite frank, I had quite a bit last night, so I'm not entirely sure. All I could smell is Vigmund, which I'm assuming is Vigmund's pastries downstairs. And I'll tell you what, I could use something to eat.
Marvelous. Do we eat Vigmund? Am I missing something? Is it a local delicacy?
Have you heard of the? Pull me up on this, please. The 3 Cats Bakery. 7 Cats Bakery.
Nope, absolutely not. By the way, Marcus, I'm Marcus. Just to let you know, and you are.
So, and I'll gesture out to shake his hand.
And grab the hand. I'm not very good at tying knots. The towel thing could be problematic, but your choice, DM.
Have you dropped the blanket?
No, how dare you? It just seems to be loosely. The hair seems to be almost keeping out by itself. It's amazing. It's like Velcro.
You have a good skill in cultivation.
The climates of this wondrous realm requires many different attributes, and I find that nature sheets tend to offer so much help to it. Plus, and then I'll stop mid-conversation, turn around, it's like, well, I'll get some clothes on and meet you downstairs to eat this Vigmund. Looking forward to it. Marvellous.
Well, each to their own. Join us downstairs for some breakfast, I guess.
I'll be there shortly. I need to attire.
And I'll kind of turn and smirk to myself out of the interesting conversation I just had and walk downstairs.
Yeah, and as you walk downstairs, feeling very confused and very swift, you do see everyone but Velendar in the bar, your two companions from the night before.
Oh, what's Vigmund and Scarlet doing?
So I would think that we are kind of off in the corner talking about the misfortune that is about to befall the rude drow person that just left the bar.
That's right. So we're sitting there. I've got still a basket next to me, just with like a tea towel draped on top of it as well.
And as I guess I walk in, I catch the end of that. What misfortune? I thought we had a fairly lucky night last night.
Oh, there was like some guy here, and I like shared pastry with him and got him some wine, and he just fucked off without even saying goodbye.
Wow.
Not
I
even
mean,
you.
if you think that's strange, I just walked into a gentleman upstairs dressed in a blanket who wanted me to get him service.
What type of service?
He called it breakfast, but I wonder if it wanted more.
Well, I mean, you never know, because like there's a festival going on and there's all sorts out here.
So that is a good point. There is a festival going on. There's going to be a lot of people from around the continent coming here to enjoy themselves.
Do you have special clothes? Because we've got that meeting later.
Unfortunately, this is all I've really packed. I didn't make much good leeway with selling my potions last night.
But you guys won some gold on the exhibition fighting, so we do have the option of going out and getting your stuff in the stalls.
That is true. I've only got maybe about 75 to 100 gold in my name at the moment.
It's very precise. Happy to help out if you need to, if you need it.
Well, as
At this point, you would see Velendar make his way back inside. You like feel like you've got a little bit of a pain in your stomach, Velendar. You're not sure why, but you just do out of nowhere. Pastry didn't feel great.
Okay, great. Valinda's going to assume that this is a consequence of the chili and whatever happened between the time that he recalls and the time that he doesn't. And so coming back into the bar, or are we still traipsing around outside?
Depends, actually. What would you like to do?
So yeah, it'll just be a single circuit of the building that we're in, kind of doing a check for any dodgy looking folk, and then we'll head back inside.
The only other person you would see along the way is Lena from the seafood stall, who does give you a very polite wave and looks happy to see you. Doesn't say much more than that, but gives you a wave. And as you kind of make your way back towards the front, you don't notice too much else, to be honest with you. Pretty standard.
Yep, love that. Velendar then will head back into the bar. He will have drained the the wine by this stage, and so we'll head then directly to Scarlet. Is there any chance of a second helping of the delicious breakfast wine? Thank you, by the way. That was
Yeah, sure, you can have a
very
second
helpful.
thing if you get off your ass and go up and you get it yourself.
That's incredibly rude, but
Well, you rude. I got you that. I'm a fellow customer and I got you that to be nice and I shared my pastry. You didn't even say thank you. You just got up and left.
And it's at this point you would see that Marcus also makes their way downstairs. Marcus, you see this happening. There is some sort of a weird argument or altercation going on between your new friend Velendar and someone you don't recognize.
Morning, all. I hope we're all about to enjoy eating the Vigmund. Apparently, it's a big thing, according to the chap there. We have to eat it now. So, it's a delicious breakfast snack. Looking forward to it. Vigmund's all round.
The Vigmund is best eaten fresh, I believe.
What he's saying?
Have you made a pastry named after yourself?
I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, I do have our latest creation, and it's marvelous. It's absolutely fantastic. However, it's got an unusual name, and I'm debating what it's actually called with our marketing team because I don't think it's correct. But if you would like, we have our own version of a breakfast roll called an arse bun. Now, it's a weird name, but it's supposed to be short for ascendus, an ascendus bun. And they think it'll be catchy. So let me know if you would like an arse bun. You can have one.
I genuinely don't think I could say no to an arse bun.
I fucking hate this place.
Well, when in a stormy inn, we're either eating Velendar or eating arse bun. So let's arse buns all round, everybody.
Excellent. I pull the tea towel off the basket there, and a bit of wafting steam comes off to the side, and I take them out and I serve them nicely up on little plates. Give them out.
Vigmund. Yes?
Hello?
I assume. Yeah, okay, good. We've established a name. Wonderful. Do you work here? Are you just randomly gifting food?
That's a good question, my man. No, I don't work here. I help out here is what I do. My bakery, have you heard of it? The Seven Cats Bakery?
Can't say
I
that I
point to
have.
this badge, this kind of badge that I've got on my shirt, you know. It's got like a bit of an emblem of cats around a pie, essentially. So, interesting. Okay. Well, highly recommend.
Sorry,
you get
Seven
this.
Cats Bakery. Of course,
Yeah,
I've
Seven
heard of it.
Cats.
Yeah, talk of the town last night during the festival.
So I
Are
don't
you
know.
lying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. Roll a deception check. You can roll an insight. Anyone who wants to roll an insight may in fact roll an
16.
insight check.
16 on deception.
Is anyone rolling against?
Nah.
I got the 16 on insight.
Oh. Well, you get the sense that there is some sarcasm, but you're not sure how far that goes. But you're not sure. It's kind of like he's either just trying to be funny or he genuinely has. And you're just misinterpreting it.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, anyhow, Velendar, Velendar, right? Is
Velendar.
that your name?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning. What are you up to?
I'm trying to get this awful taste out of my mouth from the chili contest last night. Not normally a thing I'd participate in, and I'm regretting it, to be honest.
Yeah, feeling a little rumbly around the torso.
Somewhat.
Interesting. Okay. Well, good luck to you. Maybe some more wine is what you need.
Mm.
Absolutely agree.
I recommend it then.
And Velendar then will do exactly that, track wherever that wine came from and go self-serve.
I
I'll,
look to
Yeah.
I look to Scarlet and I'm like, and give her a wink.
I'll kind of jerk Belinda on the side of the shoulder and be like, I'll tell you what, I've got quite a shocking hangover. Perhaps a hair of a dog would be good. And I'll join him.
Cool. Marcus, what are you doing at this point?
Well, Marcus hitches up his bedsheet toga, and strides towards the arse buns. Has a quick sniff, and are these for sale, or are you gifting them to us?
Well, let's just say this. I was fortunate enough to see amazing feats in the chili eating competition yesterday, and I'm a good friend of the barkeep here, Mila. So this basket here is for people I know and people that are guests and friends of Mila, essentially. And I'm assuming that's you. You know Mila, right?
Well, marvelous. Well, my name's Marcus. You've met my other friend there that's now looting the bar. And sorry, madam, your name is
My name is Scarlet.
Marcus. How are you?
Good. And she's like looking at how you're dressed and remembering what Sol said. It's like, yeah, good. Have some ass bun.
Arse buns all round, as I said. I'm sure they're delicious. Are they a speciality of this locality?
Well, it's a new feature of this locality. The Seven Cats Bakery is actually really good. Got a little bit of the full tour from Vigmund last night. After the store had closed, Sol and I got to see a little bit behind the scenes. Very well run establishment.
So
Fabulous.
Marcus, you look like your morning's still in progress there, man.
No.
And
It's,
I gesture to just the towel.
Yeah. It seemed more appropriate. It was morning. The soul that seems to have gone off suggested there was, and I understand now we're not actually eating you now, so that's good.
You're eating his ass buns.
Well, but yes, we're here just to look around this lovely locale. We ran into some rather curious events. This chili eating competition that seemed to go on. Odd, but each their own.
And did you go to? Oh wait, no, I can't say the other thing. After the chili eating contest.
No, I had an early night. There was festivities going on there. My elf colleague would have been out and about. He's got that kind of je ne sais quoi about him, where he's here one time, then he's gone the next, then he's here again, then he's gone the next. A man of mystery.
And she's like acting casual and looking around. It's like, so like you slept well. You weren't woken up by any form of ruckus or anything?
Nope. Slept like a baby. I've got these wonderful blinds I put over my eyes. It blacks out everything. I was just making some notes. Fell asleep. Woke up. It was wonderful, and then bumped into the chap over there that seems to be somewhat hungover. He's moving very quickly, which is kind of strange. No, the other one.
And just a little rewind. I think initially Velendar would have just been planning to ignore Sol and just kind of do his own thing. But as soon as Marcus has come down in a sheet, he would have had a little giggle, poured a second glass out and handed it to Sol and just kind of pointed over and watch this. This should be interesting.
And as you approach the bar and you're helping yourself, is that correct?
Yeah, it's what I've been encouraged to do. So sure.
Yeah, great. So you do look and do happen to notice that Mila is standing there. And she is looking, last you saw Mila, she was quite thankful for you and Marcus. But she seems to be in a much more stroppy mood today. Her blonde plaits almost looks slept in, like she hasn't really put too much of an effort into herself this morning. And as she's wiping glasses, you almost sense, both you, Velendar and Sol, you sense like an aggression to it. And she's like placing the cups down on the bench quite firmly. And as she notices you reach over the bar and grab a bottle of wine, she doesn't stop you, but she is looking at you like...
And Velendar then will throw, say, 2 gold on the bar, just guesswork on the price of a bottle of wine in the area. You look unhappy, and I don't really remember most of last night. Did we?
That bottle is from Maluhia. It's an import. And you've just given me 2 gold. I would like more.
How much more, exactly?
How much do you think it's worth?
Wow. I've never really been one to value wine. I thought it was worth 2 gold.
Okay, well, unfortunately you were wrong. So I guess I'll take tax on that. Could I have another 8?
Can I interrupt? After his last comment, I can understand that Mila looks pretty pissed off, yeah?
Yeah, and to you it's kind of strange, because the last you saw Mila, she was in a great mood. The last you saw Mila, she was behind the bar. She had finished her engagement down the spiral staircase that night, and she was feeling pretty accomplished. So seeing her in this mood, you're not quite sure why that would be.
I'm going to assume what Velendar was saying and make a gesture like, do you make most women this unhappy after a night?
Depends on the woman. 10 gold for a bottle of wine seems incredibly excessive. Fortunately, I've just come into some money, you might say, and Velendar will slide another 8 of the gold he very recently pilfered from an unconscious person outside over the table, happily, and will top up Sol's drink.
She will take the gold and she will pocket it directly. This is normal to you. You saw her do this last night. Because she owns this bar. She can do whatever she wants. And she looks at you and she says, for the record, no, we did not spend the night together. But next time you can ask plainly. I'm not stupid.
I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. Do you recall how I fell asleep down here? That's it's uncharacteristic of me.
While we didn't spend the night together, we did in fact drink quite a lot. Like a lot.
That is a little more characteristic of me.
You did have a room, which you paid for. And you did not spend the night in. So I rented it out to someone else. I hope you didn't leave your stuff in there.
To who, exactly?
I don't know. Some random patron.
And Velendar then Yeah, Will, I guess, have left some things in the room at some point. So assuming I recall which room it was, Will kind of sigh and trudge off to the room.
She
then.
will hold up her hand and she will be like, not that nasty, and she'll pull out a small pouch of your belongings that you did in fact leave behind and hold them out to you. But you're not getting your money back. You all know each other?
I've only just met Velendar this morning.
Right, and the others?
Well, yes, Vigmund and Scarlet. I mean, I've only known them for the last 24 hours, but it's been fun.
And the toga man?
It's quite an interesting one, Marcus, I believe. His name was. I've not yet had a chat with him.
Him, I'm more familiarly acquainted with. He's a delight. He's harmless.
Oh. Well, you can let him know that his attire is okay for today. Tomorrow, however, you know, people can be forgiven on a day, the day after the Emberfest. I dare say you'll go out there and you'll see much less on quite a few people. But yeah, tomorrow, not so much. If you plan on staying another night, that is.
Excellent. We're in the same room. Does Marcus hear that?
And Marcus is delightfully ignoring that and eating arse as far as I can work out. So
Excellent.
Fabulous. Then no, absolutely not.
Brilliant.
So, on that note, Velendar, what brings you here? Just forgive my forwardness, but again, the festival's on. I know a lot of people are coming from many far areas of the continent.
Oh, seeking fame, fortune, glory, wine.
No, there should be no end to that here right now. I must admit, I don't remember how many more days of the Emberfest there will be before it ends, but...
And how did you become acquainted with your friends here?
Honestly, I've been traveling alone for quite some time from Ascendus. And, well, to be more accurate, Jiran. I'm actually traveling up here to Agora to learn a bit more in the way of medicines.
Medicines?
Yes.
Are you a healer or just have an interest?
Of a sort. My uncle was a part of the military and a physician in medicine. Or alchemist, I should say. I've taken up the trade.
A noble vocation?
Well, yes, there's some few experiments that have gone awry from time to time, but we've done well enough to make a good earning in Jiran, where it's not so easy in some of the other areas.
And is this a living in your father's shadow type situation, or are you genuinely interested in the field?
Well, forgive my bed manner, but my father's quite dead. My uncle is the one who's been looking after me.
I only wish I could say the same.
Well
met.
I'll chase him a little bit of the reds. Oh, thank you for the drink. You sure I don't owe you anything for this?
No, it's fine.
With you hear the moment that Sol says, "My father is quite dead." You hear like a little bit of a snort from Mila, not in the laughing sense, but in like a "whoa, that was uncomfortable" sense. And you watch as she pours this deep red liquid into 3 shot glasses and lines them up on the bar, and offers them to both of you and holds hers up and downs it immediately. And she goes, "To the dead, I guess."
To the dead and those we wish were so. Smashes.
Good enough for
down.
me.
The rest of you, Marcus, Scarlet, and Vigmund, what are you three doing?
So after devouring the pastry, because she's just totally carb loading for later, she will have noticed that Mira is of sorts, and she will kind of do that almost childish sneak up and like, Mila, what's wrong?
You will see that she tries to look almost like a child that has decided that this is their mood for the day, and her eyes narrow, but you do see the corners of her mouth just tug into a tiny little smile. And she looks at you and she says, what gives you the impression that there's something wrong?
You're just not your usual exuberant self. You're still wonderful, you're still lovely, but there's just something missing this morning, as if the day woke up slightly overcast for you.
You can smell the slight scent of rum and various other like sweet liqueurs on her. You can tell that she has freshened up for the day, but it's like that sort of leftover residual scent almost on her clothing. And she's just like, Casey is just such a dick.
Do I need to go
Such
do something? Do you want me to do something to him? Did he hurt you?
No, he didn't hurt me. He's just a dick. He caused a lot of fights last night. You missed it.
I did. I rested after, the staircase stuff.
Velendar, can you make a perception check for me, please?
Mm-hmm. 21. Dirty 21.
You hear this entire thing happen, and on top of that, you hear the way Mila is speaking about Casey, and you remember that after the chili eating competition, that there was in fact a fight between Casey and Mila, and both yourself and Marcus had a hand in making her feel like Casey would not be the best suited gentleman for her after her deep adoration for him. And you kind of get that vibe that she's not happy about it. Not at you, doesn't feel directional towards you, but you can tell that there is some hurt there. Anyone else that does want to try and listen in can also do so with a perception check. But you just watch as she like looks around and she's like, I don't really want to talk about it. He's just such a jerk, and I really liked him.
Okay, so Vigmund, are you right to tend bar for about 15 minutes?
Yes, looks like it's probably the right thing to do. Now I'm looking at Mila while yes, of course. I'll take over.
Okay.
You need another wine. Look at the Val.
And Scarlet will grab the no, because our drow friend actually paid for the expensive wine, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So Scarlet, knowing, having been here for a couple of days, exactly where different alcohols are stashed, will basically like be reaching over the bar and grabbing some form of like nectar liqueur or something out there, and just be like, I'll give you the gold later, but for now we're going to go smash some drink back and have a chat. Vigmund's got the bar for 15. Let's sort this shit out.
This is like 8 a.m., right?
Yeah.
It's like
Everyone's getting smashed,
it's
right?
more like 11 a.m. So
Oh,
it
it's 11.
is like
Okay, right.
feels like 8 a.m. to you guys because you had a late one, but it's more like 11 a.m.
Yeah, I need to transition from baked goods, from breakfast rolls to maybe something else then.
Why don't you get our friend Marcus to join? I'm sure the toga will bring in some company.
Yeah, Marcus, it feels like you have a bit of a mess to clean up.
Look, after last night's adventures of us basically saving the local industry, I feel we should get dressed and go out. It does seem to be rather early to get hammered at this stage, and there are stories outside of this bar.
What do you
I'm
mean
sure.
get dressed? Are you not already dressed?
I am dressed. This is very acceptable in other parts of the world, but if it's a bit colder here, I thank you for your guidance, Sol, and I'll go and get some trousers on. Vigmund, are you a local store owner, entrepreneur?
No. Indeed, I'm one of the key and head chefs over at the Seven Cats Bakery, as mentioned earlier.
Right, I know nothing about that, but I'd be fascinated. I'm just going to get some clothes on while our colleagues seem to get hammered on very expensive wine. Not sure it's expensive, but that's the way it works around here. I'll be back momentarily.
Drink.
Well, this is timely. I need to head back there soon.
Yes. Well, we'll find it. We'll meet you at your bakery in what, say, half an hour? Great,
Is it
splendid.
like
Off
you
we
get there
go.
quickly, right?
Yep.
The
And then
end.
I'll go. Marcus will just cut up to his room.
Yeah.
Great. Who's staying in the bar and who's going to the bakery?
Well, Scarlett's basically having one drink with Mila, because obviously Mila's still serving for the rest of the day.
Cool.
But basically wants to let Mila have a little bit of event and stuff like that. And then Scarlett will head off to the bakery, presuming she remembers. Well, I guess she'll go there with Vigmund once he finishes tending bar for Mila.
Oh, sweet. So that'll be about 15 minutes time. Marcus, you're going upstairs. Velendar, what are you doing?
Velendar will tag along with the group heading to the bakery then. There's nothing else going on, and he'll take the bottle with him.
Great. Sol, what are you doing?
I don't know where the 7 Cats Bakery is, do I?
You do.
I
You
do.
did in
Yeah, we
fact
were there last night.
attend the night before.
That's right. And Marcus, does he know where it is?
You have no idea.
Has Marcus head upstairs yet?
Yeah, he like beelined. He was like, "See you later. I'm going upstairs. We're meeting there in half an hour."
And I know Scarlett's still here, so
At least the next 15 minutes, because Vigmund is behind the bar serving for 15 minutes or so.
right. I'll just wait. To be honest, I'll wait the 15 minutes and see what everything pans out, and I'll either head with everybody or whoever's left behind who doesn't know where it is. I'll go with them.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I will say this: Velendar looks as though they're about to like leave and go by himself towards the 7 Cats Bakery, and then looks around, and you notice that no one's actually leaving. In fact, Scarlett is about to pour a drink. You are more than welcome to continue onwards. Do you keep going or do you wait?
Absolutely not. Velendar will have to wait because he has no idea where this bakery is. So rather than looking like he's made a mistake, he'll just try and make this smooth transition into like leaning against next to the door, like he's moved over there on purpose, waiting for everyone then.
Yeah, cool. Everyone but Marcus and actually Vigmund, who's now like behind the bar. And being, a halfling, this bar is much taller than you.
Oh, it's a lot of I just do this and hope it just goes to the right spot.
Yeah, so you are like quite low behind the bar. It is, to see up over it, you do need to stand on tiptoes.
I'm gonna lean
Yeah,
over the top of the
cool.
bar and I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but do you want a hand with anything?
What I do is I duck lower behind the bar. I grab a stool. I put it in front of where I'm standing. Then I stand on the stool, and I'm now level with him.
100%, it's canon.
I'm like,
Um,
all good, my man.
Mila
just
looks at
checking.
you all, and she takes a seat, and she unties the apron that's around her waist, and she drops it aside. And this bottle of liqueur that you've pulled out from behind the bar, Scarlet, it's a cloudy color. It's almost like an icy blue, but it's so the blue is so light that you could, you know, in certain lights it looks almost translucent. And she takes this bottle from you, and she pours one for each of you, including Marcus, who's not currently there. And it is shot sized, and you watch as she swirls it around, and she's like, "Thank you for a drink in my own bar. I don't mean to sound ungrateful. I'm just in a bad mood. I just really liked him. And I guess curiosity. Velendar, do you always break up relationships? Because I watched you with the two people on a date, you and Marcus, you know, messing with that couple, and
Oh my god! Did you break them up?
There was nothing to break. They
Oh,
clearly weren't going to work.
to be fair, it was our first date. I guess we had been building up to it for a long time. And you do sense a sadness in her. And for a moment, she's silent, and then she downs this quite large shot looking mouthful of liqueur. And you watch as her lips go a bright red color following this drink. And then you look over towards the door, which has swung open, and you feel the cold air of the early days of harvest come through. And you see a figure walk through. And that's why we're going to take a 10-minute break for now. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to find out who's walked into the bar in the early hours of harvest. We will see you all in 10 or so minutes. Thank you so much for coming along, and we will be right back. Oh no. There we go. There's my audio. Hey, welcome back to Echoes of Divinity, Season 1. Season 1? Episode 1 is what I meant.
Divinity.
Thank you so much. I'm here all week. I actually am. And if I'm not, I'm over on OzQuest. How are we feeling, guys?
Well,
A little bit drunk, apparently.
Yeah, great.
No, it's been what? 1 and a bit glasses of wine and a shot. Valendar's fine.
Yeah, you're fine. But do you know what you will do, Promethean? Just because during your sort of Skulls episode 1, I was thrown incredibly under the bus. So it's time to do that to you.
Oh,
Would you mind recapping what happened before the break?
yes. Okay, so we have all awoken then at the Stormy Night, a tavern, in essentially 2 groups. So Marcus and Velendar had met each other earlier. The other 3 presumably got up to their own fun shenanigans from the sound of it. Velendar had fallen asleep at the bar, so he's woken up quite roughage. And we've just gotten to, you know, some light morning social chats. We've shared some food, we've shared some drinks. Mila, the proprietor of this establishment, has expressed her discontent at having a would-be relationship broken up. Soz, you know, took a read on it. Was it going to work? And Marcus unfortunately has just traipsed on upstairs to actually get dressed rather than, remaining with us for the rest of the day wrapped in a glorious sheet, which I was kind of looking forward to, but that's quite sad. And a mysterious figure has just now entered the bar.
As that mysterious figure is walking through the door, Marcus, you have arrived back in time to also see this happen. And as the door opens directly next to you, Velendar, not onto you, but the door opens on the opposite side of where you're standing. So you are leaning and this door swings this way. So you watch as this person directly enters next to you.
Out of interest, does Vigmund see this character?
Yes, he is standing on a stool.
I'm still going to imagine he can't, and I'm going to be like, Vigmund, there's a mysterious character that's entered the door.
I'm currently staring down at him a little bit. And I pull out a bagel, one of my long ones, and I'm just like, my man, bang.
Yeah, great.
Did you see that? I saw that.
What kind of bang are we doing here? Are we doing like a high five bang, or are you trying to hit me with it?
No, I hit you with it.
Cool. Sweet. You get hit with some bread. You've got a headache, so it doesn't feel good, particularly because now you move at such a fast pace. So everything's just a little bit jarring to you. The good news for all of you is that this mysterious figure is not so mysterious. As you watch them enter, you see a human male. He is wearing a flashy green emerald shirt with gold embellishments. And you recognize this person as Casey. And as he walks through the bar, he doesn't look too disheartened. He doesn't look... You would expect, with the way Mila's feeling, that maybe, hopefully, he would have some sort of guilt written on his face. But he, in fact, does not. And he walks in and he looks at all of you and he is like, okay, I wasn't expecting it to be this busy this morning. Good morning, everybody. How did you sleep?
How did you sleep?
Well, why?
I should be leaning on the bar. I heard something happened last night.
He looks off into the distance, and Mila rolls her eyes and she pours herself another drink. Whoa.
Trapped.
That was incredibly unsubtle.
People didn't know.
It was all an illusion. Fuck, that really threw me. Mila, she takes a sip of this second drink. Casey just looks at you all one by one.
Like Casey, what a delight. I thought you were leaving.
Leaving? Well, not me, my brother. I know you did. I feel like you mentioned that you'd like me to leave.
We recommended, given the, certain air the family had left at the festival would probably be rather unhealthy for you. And looking at Mila's face, and I mean, I'm not one for perception, but look at this room. It's time for either you to leave or us to leave. And we'll leave it to Mila because she's the proprietor here. Would you like us to leave or would you like Casey to leave?
You watch as her face, reminiscent of a young girl that is torn between her heart and her head. She does just kind of sit there and look between you all. And Casey does pay very close attention to what she is doing, and he does say, "Well, Mila," and she's like, "Well, it's not like you can make up for what you did last night. You kind of ruined the Emberfest." And he looks at you all and he goes, "Well, the Emberfest is over. I see no reason to leave. Agora's home. You would all really drive me from my home."
Okay. So we were heading out anyway, so I think we should head out and let these two talk and work out something. But Casey, you fucking hurt her, I will hunt you down.
Can you make an intimidation check, please?
I'm going to lean into Vigmund and be like, "What happened last night?"
I'm trying to work that out too.
Maybe offer them some pastries. That seems to go over well with everybody.
I was going to, but this is interesting. Watch what happens.
There is a dice jail that I need to have.
Oh no, what did you roll?
5.
How did you fail an intimidation check?
Because I rolled a 1.
Oh, I see.
Oh no.
First nat 1 of the campaign.
Yeah, first one.
Oh no.
Gotta get them out. Get them out.
Shit. Well, you go full in on this and you feel like you're standing tall and strong. You've dealt with people like this before. This guy's a fucking jerk. And he looks at you and he goes, "Okay, little girl. There is absolutely no need for that. Now, if you're happy to leave us, we can in fact talk."
He called her little girl. She's going to punch him in the face.
Yeah, I'm going to lean into Vigmund and be like, "Oh shit, he just called her a little
Yeah.
girl."
Make an attack roll.
I put a dollar down. I put a gold coin down in front of him. So
I'm gonna wipe a crumb off my shoulder from where he hit me. I'm like, I'll up you some crumbs.
It's an unarmed strike, so she got a dirty 20.
Yeah. Where are you hitting him?
Straight in the nose. He wants to be a pretty boy. I'm marking that face up.
Great. You punch him square in the nose and he goes like ghostly white. And blood immediately, you watch as he holds his nose and blood starts to drip out of his nostrils, and he holds his hand back and he catches sight of the blood and he just goes unconscious.
Don't worry, I've got medical training. Marcus strides down the stairs, using the towel that he had wrapped jauntily over one shoulder as a sling. He appears to have fainted from bad choices. Grabs his nose. I'm assuming you basically broke it.
Yeah. Unarmed strike automatically does 5 damage minimum.
Carefully lift his head up and then just reset his nose while he's unconscious. It's okay.
Yeah, you hear.
Yep.
As his nose just resets.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mila, he called me little girl. I couldn't help myself. It's really patronizing when guys do stuff like that.
Where's Velendar in this one? Because I just look over. Marcus just looks over to
Still at the
Velendar.
door.
Yeah,
it's like every time he's been looking around, like the poor dude's had to like do a 180 each time, looking back and forth. Yeah.
It's
Vigmund will throw some tea towels over to Marcus. Let's look after Mila's floor. And I point at his nose, and I assume there's some blood coming out, something like that.
It's okay. I'm using this very expensive shirt he's got to mop up his own blood. It'd be great. Red and green, marvelous.
Give him a recovery position so he doesn't drown on the blood.
Very good point. I was just looking for someone to prop him. Mila, would you like to talk to him in his unconscious form? Because we were going to go off and see a bakery at this point in time, and this would probably be a great time for you to have a one-to-one conversation with a partially conscious X or to-be X. We should go. We should just go. Let's go.
He will be especially vulnerable at this point.
Well, he's unconscious. He'll
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mila. Really, really, really sorry. Really. I still have that healing potion from last night if you want that.
You and Sol and Vigmund, you three have seen this side of Mila before. And she, for a moment, looks stunned. And she doesn't respond to most of what you're saying. And then she starts to laugh. And you watch as her eyes go a little bit wider than you would expect. And she's just like, that was great.
It's the bang. It happened. That's the second part of the name. And sometimes I can't help it. Like if people are patronizing like that, just, yeah, can't help it.
Yeah, fuck him up. And she gets up and she moves around and she feels her pulse.
He's still
Oh no,
alive.
he's fine. It's recovery. Cold water. He won't be able to smell for a while, obviously, and it will get black eyes. But other than that, absolutely fine. Character building.
But if he hurts you, I'll come back and do it so that he can't have kids, and you won't have to worry about it.
Oh, I'll take care of him. Thank you, though. He's not dead, and I guess that's, what matters for now. Maybe don't tell his brother.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe do.
Well,
I don't know. And she,
I'm your personal enforcer, so you can call me back at any time to clean house.
you are welcome back here anytime. And just for your reference, next year's Emberfest will have similar festivities. If you contact me in exactly 11 months' time, I will send you the code word, and we would be honored to have you back. And you watch as she grabs Casey by the feet, and she begins to and you realize this now, she's quite strong. And she begins to pull Casey towards the staircase. And she's like, enjoy the bakery. If you need anything, I guess tonight's on me.
Thank you.
Marvelous. Well, Velendar, we really should probably move into relationship business. I think we've helped so many people recently. And Marcus just makes some furious notes in a journal as he walks towards Velendar.
Brilliant. Velendar's not really going to contribute to that, but we'll wait, assuming everyone's going to head off to the bakery and follow him out.
Out of interest, when Casey walked in, he mentioned another brother. Was that right?
Yes.
We might have mistaken. Has he got, from that and just what Mila just mentioned, has he got a twin brother?
He does.
They were both at the contest the night before.
Yeah, I thought I remembered something like that. And yeah, we know the one that is there is the one that was affectionate for Malia.
Malia?
Malia.
Wrong screen.
Yeah.
Wrong screen.
Are they identical?
Yes. They are identical, but you do know that they wear different clothing.
Right. Okay. Just the observation I'm making in my head. That's all.
Okay, great. Are you all headed to the bakery?
To the bakery.
I better go.
All right, Vigmund, I think you're up.
Okay, let me just grab my wares and get what I need, and yeah, let's be on our way. You're in for a treat.
At this point, you all head out. It's about 12:30 now. By the amount of tomfoolery that has happened, arse buns, that sort of stuff, spaghetti jar sized pastries. You make your way out, and the streets are definitely, having all been in Agora before, and definitely having arrived for the Emberfest, the streets are much deader than you would expect them to be in the hustle and bustle that is the main city of and the capital of Durmada. as you make your way through the cobblestone streets of the Marquetta, Velendar and Marcus, you are kind of following your three new friends. Is anyone doing anything while you're on your way to the bakery?
Velendar will have slid up next to Scarlet, just briefly. That was incredible work with the young man in the bar. The hit to the face, down in one hit. That was incredible. Impressive.
You should have seen what I did to some drunk dude last night using Vigmund's spoon.
Excellent, Velendar. Like Velendar will just kind of take that and sit with it for a little bit and just kind of nod and then just fall back into the huddle of the crowd as they head to the bakery.
Is anyone else doing anything?
If I ever hear that, I'd be like, it was very explicit.
I just like reach for my spoon and just make sure it's kind of there still exactly as it should be, knowing how strong Scarlet is.
It is at its full integrity, as you would expect. It doesn't have any difference in feel to it.
Excellent.
Nor scent. Marcus?
Marcus has reached into yet another pouch and pulled out yet another book and is writing kind of as we're walking past landmarks, just kind of annotating notes and doing really quick kind of stretches. He's not keeping up with Sol, who I'm assuming is outpacing us all.
Sorry, do we work out what Marcus is wearing?
You really want to go into that now? I mean, should we just raise the level of the stream from PG up?
You got this.
Yeah.
Well, again, there was a lot going on, and somebody did say this is what we were supposed to be wearing on this particular day. So Marcus has literally put a leather jacket over the top of what he's got. He's still got the towel kind of firmly wrapped round, cinched around his waist. And he's treating it as a toga / kilt type thing. Got his bags, and the trousers are kind of just stuffed into one of the strap pockets. He's got hiking boots on, so it's very seemly.
Stunning.
Hot.
No, the air flows very good for this time of year.
I hate this.
The bagpipes are hanging out by themselves, by the way.
Great. As you're making your way through, you, Marcus, and Velendar notice a familiar gnome. She is pushing a small cart, and you watch as her entire face lights up. And she runs over to you, and you recognize her as Marla Elabellis. And she starts to kind of make her way towards you, and then she stops, and she goes back to her cart, and she starts rummaging through her things. And you watch as she pulls out a paper bag, and it looks quite heavy. And she makes her way over to you, and she holds out this paper bag, and she goes,
Marla!
As promised. Marcus!
How very kind of you.
Well, it was part of the deal.
It was, but what is it?
Oh, it's noodles.
Ah, the noodles! Have you met Vigmund? Vigmund, you're into food.
Yeah, noodles. Yeah, maybe. Sure, why not?
Have you met? Have you two met? This is Vigmund. He's a baker of some note.
Hey.
Yes.
Vigmund from the Seven Cats Bakery?
Ah, you recognize me, do you? Or maybe the pin of my famous establishment?
I am obsessed with your goods, particularly the flog wagon rolls. They are so yummy.
Have you tried Vigmund's arse?
Look,
I'm sorry?
Have you tried Vigmund's arse? He's been handing them out all the time. They're marvellous. They're an unusual creation. Vigmund,
It is.
you had them in your
You on
basket.
that?
Yes, look, I can share some with you, and yes, it is a very new innovation that we're releasing. I'm not sure about the ironic faux pas of the name. There's supposed to be Ascendus buns, but there's been an abbreviation along the way.
Now that makes more sense. Yeah, I would be honored.
There is a lot of stairs in Ascendus.
This is true, and a lot of people think it is kind of like us over there. But anyway, yes, try some.
That I could agree with. Here, if you would allow, I would also like to give you some of our noodles. I'm not sure if you've heard of. You probably haven't. My name is Marla. I'm from Alabellus Noodles. And you have heard the term Alabellus Noodles before. Being from a bakery of such high stature, it's a little bit beneath you. You know, it is more of like a market stall than it is a storefront. But you have heard of the very good reputation it has, at least among that demographic.
Okay. I'm like, okay. Well, look, you look like you're really into what you're doing here, aren't you?
Yes, I provide for my entire family.
Then that's all you need to do. And well done. And good luck.
She walks back, places the baked goods on her cart, and she does come back with a small container of noodles. And as you look down at them, they are like a dark charcoal color, but with a very rich red looking sauce on top of them. You haven't seen noodles like this before.
All right. I'm like, I look away.
You've
Change
got
my
to try
expression. I look back. I'm like, okay. And then I lean in. I smell them. Like,
they
yes.
They smell citrusy. Weirdly,
oh.
you get like a citrus, and not like a sweet citrus smell, like a like almost a tart smell, but you know that these are savory. It does have almost like lemongrassy kind of scent to it, but it's not lemongrass and it's not lemon. You're not sure what it is, but it
Okay.
smells good.
Should I take a little sip? And it's like is there a spoon there? And I can.
It is contained, so it is closed. But with this little container, she has given you a little napkin and a little spoon, like a spork. She doesn't hang around to watch you. She does actually say, "It was a pleasure to meet you. The pleasure, the honor is mine." And you would all notice she's slightly flustered by this interaction. And Velendar and Marcus, she does look at you and she says, "Thank you so much for everything you've done. If you are ever in the Marquetta again, I would be more than honored if you would come and dine with us anytime."
No, the honour is ours, dear lady. Ours. We have to go to the bakery. Lovely to see you. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for the noodles. Ta-da!
Thank you. And she like trots off and goes back to her cart and she starts pushing it along. Is anyone else doing anything before you arrive at the bakery?
Vigmund, you have to eat the noodles. This is like one of two places I knew before I met you. There were eateries here.
You've tried these, have you?
Yes, I have it right here in my notes that I have.
In your notes. Okay. What's at the top of your list? Don't lie.
But no, they're really, really good. Like I tried her stuff. It's kind of like an eat street setup. And then I tried the stuff from the Spicy Brew, which is like Casey and his brother ran it. I didn't realize they were doing the chili eating contest as well. That's actually how I first met Casey. And then I met you and like your bakery and stuff. So now I know 3 places where you can get food and drink besides Miller's, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vigmund just takes a sec. He pops a lid, quickly puts the spork in there, has a little slurp. Yep. Yes. And then what you see is like he just goes quickly into one of his like condiment pouches, and before you know it, he's like flipped up, a couple of different shakers, the little jars, and like Ah, that's better. Try this, my dear. And then I offer Scarlet the bowl back.
Okay, she'll try it.
Ooh, is it better?
Good question. For this, Ito,
Yeah.
I'm going to get you to roll something for me. I'm going to get you to roll
My
either.
reputation is on the line of this role, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to get you to roll just because it seems like fun. You're going to roll performance for me.
Okay. Oh, shit. It's a 2.
Yes. Oh.
Plus 4.
Oh no.
So you
Ruined the street
have a
food.
lot of flair for what you do. It's like when you go to a bar and you watch someone that is so deep into, their mixology that they make a spectacle of it. And you've focused so hard on this spectacle that what you didn't realize is that instead of picking up something reminiscent of like a chili oil, what you have in fact picked up is a jam. And this jam goes into the noodles, and you've mixed it up so quickly and handed it over that you don't even catch the scent before it gets to Scarlet. It tastes fucking terrible. It is awful. It is like, it's not good.
Do I notice that I actually accidentally did that?
No.
Dude,
Fuck.
I appreciate your baking skills, but noodles is not your jam, buddy.
Not my jam. Wait a minute. Can I at least now see if I put in the right ingredients?
Yeah, you notice a man of your impeccable taste has now in fact looked down, and you notice like there's a bright, almost blueberry looking jam through the noodles.
You know what? That's fine. I was trying out something new. Maybe jamoodles are not the way.
No. Like if you were going to go for like a sweet one like that, you'd probably want the noodles to be made from something like that has like a cocoa or something like that in it to complement it, like a dessert noodle. But it doesn't go with the savory stuff that she's put together.
Right, Vigmund knows he fucked up.
I'm going to butt in, and if I
My dear,
overhear some
you have
conversation-
wonderful taste. I can't wait till we get to our bakery. We're going to put you in line for our newest creations.
Sounds like you might have a entrepreneur on our hands in the group.
I agree with you, my man. I agree with you.
And as you are all discussing these noodles, you do arrive at the Seven Cats Bakery. Vigmund, would you like to describe to those who haven't been there what they would see?
Right. Okay. So just imagine a storefront with big glass windows, as you kind of would imagine, a delicatessen type bakery, like a almost a Parisian type place, if you want to think of it like that. But it's big, so it's nearly the whole block, in size. So at the top of the actual door, which is this like kind of big wooden door, and you've got handles on the front, which are like finely crafted, and both handles are kind of like the shape and body of a cat, and the tail kind of makes up the handle as well. And I can describe more if we go inside.
Going inside?
Are we going inside? I'm assuming we're going inside.
That sounds nasty.
For that, is the bakery open? Is there someone operating this bakery, or have you got no one working there today?
No, we do have someone working there. We do have running the bakery is our best sous chef. She's a dwarf, and her name is Mabel Lightcrust. And she's wearing her usual kind of bakery attire.
As you do all walk in, the door is in fact open, but you do not see Mabel anywhere. It does, however, smell like freshly baked goods. So it is evident that something has been baking today.
And at this point, I'll ask the question as to how long the shit-inducing effects of the pie that Velendar ate a little while ago are actually going to take to kick in.
You just have a persistent, prolonging pain in your bowels.
Marvelous.
It is.
Is it audible yet? Is it audible? Or do we
If
need a
you were
percentage
paying, yeah, go on. Fuck it, let's go. Anyone who wants to listen for tummy gurgle,
You
go
shit
for it.
yourself.
Anyone else want to listen?
Does he look uncomfortable?
How do you look, Velendar?
Let's do. Oh God, nope. I was gonna say let's do it as like some kind of sideways con save, and I rolled a 3. So yeah, Valendar's looking a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Alright,
every now and then he crosses
Hasn't
his
touched
legs.
any more of the bottle of wine.
Can I roll a medicine check? I guess.
On what? What are you trying to determine?
Is he
To see
dead?
if his ailments are
No,
just
he's
hangover.
What are you
kind of doing one
doing?
of these now. He's like kind of bending over a little, just like taking deeper breaths.
Yeah, maybe that's the medicine check to see if I could understand what is ailing him.
Here's what I'm going to get you to do, Ben. I'm going to get you to make an insight roll because while he looks uncomfortable, but it's not evident as to why unless you make a gurgle check.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do insight first then.
So for those of you who did a perception roll, what was your perception?
No perception. I rolled a 1. Plus 1.
Great.
2.
Yeah, great. Can I get you to roll a deception check, please, Velendar, if you are trying to hide it?
Yes, and I'll do it at disadvantage, just on the grounds that he's having some difficulties.
Do you want me to tell you the
the
insight
cat
check
is
before you
in
roll?
fact checking this door. Benjamin, if you could stop the cat, that would be great.
Cat save, Ben. Cat save.
My insight was 18.
Yeah, great. What was the deception roll, please? Again?
It's going to be 12.
Yeah, cool. Anyone who rolled lower than a 12, lower than a 12 would not notice the subtle gurgling of Valendar's stomach, or not so subtle. But for yourself, Sol, not only do you notice the gurgling, but you notice that it's not just a discomfort. It's a cat scratching on the door. It is. Don't take the headphones off. I'm talking to you.
Whoa.
The illusion is shattered. Excuse me while I let this cat in, who is so desperate to be in this small room that he must break in. But yes, not only do you notice, but you determine that this discomfort is specifically caused by a bodily function attempting to happen inside of Velendar.
Can I roll a medicine check, I guess, then to see if I have anything on hand from my alchemy or medicine bag to help him out with?
Sure, let's do it.
9 and 4, so 13.
You find in your kit a liquid that is a light green color. You have used it for indigestion before. It doesn't necessarily stop anything from happening, but it makes the discomfort less, almost like a pain medication.
Velendar,
Yes.
you're okay.
I felt better.
Is it the wine?
Not so sure. But if you want the rest of this bottle, you are welcome to it.
I'll take it out of his hand. And you don't sound so good. Perhaps you'd rather replace the wine with this, and I'll pull out what I think might
A
help
cat?
with his. What I think will help with his stomach.
And what is this exactly?
Let's just say it might give you a couple of more minutes before you need to, eject.
Which Velendar will look a little bit affronted at, but we'll take nonetheless and consume.
It might be
Fuck.
fun, dude.
I am so glad that my first ever stint as a campaign DM involves a session talking exclusively about poop.
Hey, you can blame
And
Eden for
tokens.
this entirely. Just quietly, just slip it in chaos there. Well done.
Analyze bodily functions.
You take this liquid, and if you've ever had a Rennie, that's exactly what it tastes like. If you don't know what a Rennie is, then Gaviscon, or something along Quickies. It is reminiscent of that chalky, minty flavor.
Gotcha.
In your mouth, and it does, like, as you drink it, though it's a liquid, the after effect in your mouth does in fact feel like gritty and chalky. It's unlike anything you've ever consumed before, and you've consumed a lot of different things in your life. However, the pains in your stomach are no longer there. And whilst you have a prolonging feeling or need to eventually eject, it is not as pressing as it once was.
So I need to be clear. That tasted isn't the right word. That felt like clay in my face. But it has been effective. Thank you.
Well, perhaps after some time with Vigmund, I can work on the flavor.
Yeah.
So is this
at
yours?
this point, Mabel.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. No,
Sorry,
you go.
so is this your establishment? Can we go in, or are we going to take in the architecture? I mean, it's lovely. Great place in the block. It's got wonderful line of sight to the rest of the town.
Yeah, sure. It's got a nice position. I'm sure. Describe the. Are we inside or outside still? We're inside, aren't we?
I
We're
think
inside.
we're just inside. Just inside.
Do you want me to describe it?
Hell yeah.
Tell us what
Okay.
your bakery looks like, buddy.
Yeah, you got a whole house, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're doing okay. All right, it's like the establishment has been around since kind of the early days. There's a bit of an origin story to the Seven Cats, but I won't go too deep into that just yet. If you could imagine almost like a foyer in some ways to like a fine hotel, but then also big copper pots and a lot of kind of work going on making like baked goods, etc. On the back wall is like a big mosaic, for example, of Seven Cats, and the ceiling, you've got kind of like real fine lighting, almost like chandeliers, but with stained glass, etc. That type of thing as well. And then on another wall, you've just got from the bottom to the top, and also one of those ladders that you would see like in a library of a tall bookcase. But instead of books, it's just all different types of breads, from floor to ceiling. And then in the front, you've got probably the biggest kind of glass case of all different fine pastries, etc., that type of thing. And then in the middle, there's kind of a try station. So you can kind of almost help yourself. It's cut up into like little, lots of things cut up into little pieces where you can kind of go have a sample. And it's kind of stacked up very nicely.
It's a lot of baked goods.
You all walk through. You do in fact notice Mabel makes her way out, and she is humming to herself, and she looks like she hasn't even noticed that you've arrived. And as she does, she quickly straightens up and brushes herself off, and she's like, "Oh, Vigmund, I didn't realize you would be coming in today."
That's all right, my
Hello.
dear. How's the day been? How's the morning?
It is the day after the Emberfest, and it's a little slow.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, look, we've got some reasonable feedback so far on our rolls, on our buns, our
The ass bun.
Yeah. Look, I need to talk to Von Rollo about this because, from marketing, I'm not sure it's the right name, but feedback on the actual bun itself.
I like the ass buns. I think it's a great name.
Yes. Well, look, we'll see. As time
Let me
goes on,
put it
we'll
this
see.
way to you. I am aware I'm just an employee. Like, I barely make ends meet. But here we are. And I just think that you are going to walk around. You're going to tell people that you're eating these buns. They're going to be like, "What's this bun?" "Oh, it's an ass bun." And as soon as they hear the term ass bun, it might be a little tongue in cheek and it might be a bit stupid, but like, it's memorable, right? And she looks at the rest of the people that you're with, and you go, "You're never going to forget the term ass bun, right?"
Yes, but I don't want people saying that tastes like ass.
No, it tastes like Vigmund's ass. That's the whole thing, right? There's
as endus.
I mean, that's almost like an innuendo in itself.
Well, it's caught on. Caught on. I don't know if I agree, but it's caught on.
I think it's great. I think you gotta just lean in with it.
Yes. Well, look. Good morning. Anyway, I have some friends with me. We've just.
It's afternoon.
Oh, is it? I look at my. Do we have watches?
No, you do not.
I look at my wrist.
You look at your wrist, and what you in fact see is that each hour you have marked a line on your arm, and that is the amount of hours in the day.
Tan from an hour before.
I skipped a line.
Well,
All right.
you've
Yes, good
got to do that.
Afternoon it is then. Afternoon it is. Look, we've come from the Stormy Night Tavern. Yes, it's been a wonderful morning. Actually, it's been quite interesting down there. And look, I've got some friends with us today, and we're actually up here for a bit of something new, a bit of something different as well. Not everyone's been to the cave. Well, yeah, great question. What are we doing today? I'm doing a tour, but what are we doing today?
Boring. What are you doing?
We've got that meeting later. Remember the lady from last night?
A meeting? How important is it? Who's it with?
Well, I think Vigmund might want to keep it under wraps until he knows what the result is.
We don't make wraps here. We make buns.
Well, maybe he wants to just keep it a little bit quiet.
Vigmund, after everything we've been through.
Yes.
Who are you meeting with?
We're meeting the. Can I call timeout?
We're meeting.
I know we're meeting someone who's a big deal. It's up at the palace. Am I right? I'm trying to remember.
It's Reyella the handmaiden to the queen.
Reyella the handmaiden to the queen.
Reyella Nightlock.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna reverse that.
Reverse. Uno reverse. Here we go.
Yes, well, we are meeting. We're meeting someone special, a dignitary, affiliated with the palace. Put it that way. That's all you need to know. I don't want us spreading rumors around here. You know what this place is like.
And the rest of these people, are you all associated to the palace too?
Oh, I'm not even from Agora, so I have no association with the palace.
Oh.
But we are. We are now. So shh. Keep it mum. Yes. Just a secret between the 6 of us and your journal. It'll be fine. Don't tell anybody about this till 48 hours from now.
Can
I come?
Well, I think you're working here, and your boss probably that would be a contract issue. So, don't want to speak for him, but you should ask him, and he's probably sitting right next to you at this point in time. So, contentious.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a bathroom, by the way?
Yeah, we've got one out the back.
If that's out loud, I'll look at Velendar. That's a chance, buddy.
Who is paying and because he's still somewhat distracted, he's not really trying to hide it, but he's paying a lot of attention to this conversation.
Because if we're going to a palace, I should probably put some trousers on. So I was just thinking that we're going to meet someone of importance. I mean, this is very comfortable, though, and I can see why it works so well.
Marcus, that's a brilliant idea. I'll escort you to the bathroom.
Marvellous. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
If you need clothes, I'm going to be taking Sol to Madame Artemis's silk store later, so we can buy him some fancier clothes.
I'll put the trousers on first. Linda, lead on.
I feel like this is your shout, Vigmund. Are you fine with us to be with you at the palace? I mean, I've only just entered here.
Look,
Dude,
I'm fine, but are you comfortable in the palace?
But the 3 of us were invited.
I feel like that was just by proxy because of Vigmund.
From the bathroom, the 5 of us were invited. That's very generous of you. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the elf to finish up in the bathroom.
So Mabel does lead you to the bathroom, both of you, and she does take you to how am I going to describe this? She does take you to a small room. It is very tight in this room because Vigmund is a halfling and she is a gnome. So it is quite small. Dwarf, sorry. And for that reason, not only is the room quite small, but the door is quite short. So when Velendar goes through, if Velendar, are you going in first?
No, Valenda's going to let Marcus go through.
Right.
He's feeling pretty good.
Yep.
So when you go through, Marcus, if you do, or if you stand off, whoever goes in first, the door finishes. If you were to sit, the door finishes about here.
Excellent.
That's. I'm just changing my trousers. You see, I've got a towel around me already, and we're meeting someone of importance. And I thought, so I don't really need someone. I just need someone out of your shop, so you didn't see a man disrobing.
So if you stand and you were to head into the stall, if you don't, that's fine too. But if you do stand, you're literally going to be cut off at the waist. So it'll be full chest out as you change into pants.
No problem with that.
That is hot. Mabel, I'd like to have a bit of a personal conversation with my friend here, if you could give us a moment.
Great. Sure, I don't need to watch. And she just walks straight out. She has no intention of staying.
Brilliant. Marcus, while Marcus is getting changed with some difficulty, I imagine then, in this cramped little space,
yes.
You have an interest in artifacts and such, correct?
Yes.
I've been made aware of a book that's potentially in possession of a member of the King's Council. If we have an opportunity to visit the palace, that's a great opportunity to potentially get our hands on this tome. It's rumored to tell tales of Durmada's origins and history. This seems like something that might be of interest to you.
You had me a book, dear boy. You had me a book.
Marvelous.
I seem to have lost my undergarments, but never mind. It's all yours.
Do you still have that sheet or towel?
Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, great. Okay. Velendar will like cut it down a bit, trim it down a bit with a dagger to be like some kind of nappy, I guess, and just kind of throw that back. Here, tie this around you, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, rides a bit, but yep, workable. Thank you.
I totally thought you were going to use it for something else.
Yeah, so did I, but I'm glad you
Nope.
went that way.
It's too early in the adventure. This is episode 1, series, season 1. Come back for more next week, folks.
Yeah. So if we can tag along with our new friends here, if we happen to find or find ourselves in a discussion about a mahogany bound book with a silver inlay of significant worth, value, and interest, just keep an eye and an ear open, perhaps.
Absolutely, dear boy. Sounds marvelous. Curious group. Wouldn't have put them together myself, but you know what? That's what adventures are made of. So, right, I'm ready, freshened up, and quite loose and limber at this stage. Marvelous stuff. And this halfling that owns this rather wonderful building is obviously someone that the local nobility wants. So easy access. Not to the. But let's leave it there. Back to the store. Let's just stride out. You'll go, and I'll leave the tiny cubicle door open with my underwear. Someone stuck in the bathroom somewhere. It's like it's one of those small changing rooms. Who cares, right?
Absolutely. Velendar?
Thanks, old chap. I'll be back with you all shortly.
Fade to black. And, and so as you are all standing there, what are you all doing while Marcus and Velendar are off having a chat in the bathroom?
So Vigmund, yeah, I would more than appreciate being able to come to the palace. Perhaps if I could have an opportunity to dig into the archives and even the apothecaries, I'm sure the best rooms for healing equipment might be in there.
Vigmund's actually going through today's ledger, and I'm just looking at kind of how we're going. And I'm like, okay, archives. What are you after? And I'm like kind of loosely paying attention, but I'm looking more at like kind of the ledger from the day.
Just to be able to accompany you proper.
Proper? Okay. You feel you're aptly dressed?
Well, apparently not.
And I think Scarlet's going to take you shopping?
Perhaps if we have time. I mean, I am in old military gear for the most part.
Seriously, all it needs is like a silk sash or something over, just to dressing it up a little.
How should this man look? Yes, describe it.
Well, I mean, realistically, all we need to do is dust off and clean down the cloak. Maybe, like, is it made of a leather or something like that?
Yes, but I kind of like it. It feels homely.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying we change that, but because it's a leather, we can actually gently sort of buff and shine the outside, and we can actually put like a silk sash around it to look ceremonial.
Vigmund chuckles like, yeah, so I think this is a great idea.
Well, I mean, it's his first time into the city, so if you think that's appropriate.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Velendar, you feel so much better. You have restarted your day. Not only do you feel relieved, but that weird taste in your mouth is gone after that little potion that Sol has given you. So now that the chalkiness has worn off in your mouth, you feel good. For the purposes of this, who will be attempting to acquire an outfit and after this, just so I am aware.
Yeah. So if it's okay, Emily, Marcus will accompany Sol to do it, and then pointing out that this is kind of what they wear at these places. And after the conversation I've just had, I would get some rather large robes, very very voluminous, with extra pockets and quite a lot of space. And for Sol, given his kind of military bearing from what it was said, go with the kind of Three Musketeers look. So
okay,
kind of rather than all this extra pomp and glamour, kind of give him a slightly more militaristic one. So a proper sword cape that flares out. Get his boots kind of done up while we're there, and get him a tunic that is embroidered on there, which has a more kind of militaristic feel that fits over the top of his stuff. So it's kind of more form fitting and has that kind of more militaristic look about it. And an updated belt, and he's always wearing quite a nice hat at the moment, so we'll get him a new feather just to give it a bit more volume.
Flamboyant.
Beautiful. Outfits are easy enough to come across. So for anyone who would like to get an outfit, anything that is a basic upgrade, similar to what was just described, you'd be looking at about like 12 gold each.
Marcus just pays it for both of them.
And that's for like full top to bottom revamp, not just accessories. If you're just looking for accessories, you're looking at about 7 gold. If you're going like full glam, you're going to be looking more at like 20 gold, but like it's not glam, it's like vintage glam.
Where would you put the description that we just got from Marcus in my category?
Like 12 gold.
12
Done.
gold. All right.
Yep. Done. So Marcus just pays that. It kind of very nonchalantly just kind of passes the money over.
I'll have a.
Yep. Just
You've
like
already
that.
helped me enough.
No. This is fine, chap. This will be it. If you wouldn't mind, I'm not particularly strong. There is this wondrous bag that I've seen here, and it's quite a large. It's almost like backpacky, but it's kind of more fashionable, and it's made of almost like a velvet material bed. So it seems to have kind of think of it as a backpack with many pockets, but quite glam.
And you'd like me to purchase this for you?
No, I bought it. I'm just not very. I'm laden down as is. If you wouldn't mind just when we go to the palace, just carrying it for me, that'd be most appreciated.
I mean,
our overlay is just going to be a little bit weird for a moment. I'm going to be Chris. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Promethean, you are me right now. You're the DM, so if you could take over.
Sure. Continue describing your outfits, new and or old, please.
It's always just I like to carry quite a few things around, and this bag would be remarkably useful for that for later down the line. It's more for think of them as more glamorous saddlebags, and it does look like that. It's kind of
I must admit, this is the most, and I'll tug down on the tunic. I guess it was.
Yes.
this is the most tightest fitting thing I've ever worn, but I'll kind of check myself out, I guess. It's not too bad, I don't think.
Happy to make a
Just at least I
Roll a
can
performance
do,
d10.
check.
Roll a d10. I'm the GM now.
6.
You're a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Velendar, are you intending on getting a new outfit?
Yes. And
What are you intending on getting?
something pretty. Velendar doesn't dress down often unless absolutely necessary. And this doesn't seem like a situation where it would be. But with the outfit, Valendar's also going to apply some elements of his disguise kit. And so when he comes out in his sick fancy new outfit, there's also like a reddish tinge to his hair and a slightly different tint to the color of his skin, even with a few, cosmetic touches.
Roll a d10.
Sure. If you insist.
Why not?
7.
You're a 7 out of 10. Good job.
I feel like Velendar should have like a +5 on that, but sure.
That's great. Scarlet, are you intending on getting a new outfit?
Scarlet won't have to buy a new outfit because she'll already have one.
She will. What is she wearing?
So, provided everyone goes back to where we're staying and she's given time, when she comes back down, you all see a very, very different side of her. For want of a better term, she looks like she's walked out of the Bridgerton set. And she's got the whole ringlets and everything going on. And she actually walks with poise and just very, very different to how you've seen her behaving till now. She still has the very pale skin and the bright red lips. And you're starting to realize that no matter what happens, her lips haven't changed color or anything like that. But just very, very not what you would have expected given how she's behaved so far.
Okay. No.
Oh my god! All right, fine. All right.
Only because it's backstory related.
Fair enough.
Vigmund, are you changing your attire?
Oh no! So we've gone from the bakery right to this shop, yeah? No, I'm already changed. What was So when I was
Roll a
when I
d10.
was
Roll a
Yeah, no.
d10.
yeah no. Oh, roll it what? Oh, D10.
A d10.
I can't even count these things. All right.
You too, Marcus.
I rolled an 8. Ha. No, well, what I was going to say was back at the Seven Cats, I just walked behind the bar. Sorry, not the bar. It used to be in a bar, evidently. I walked behind the counter, and obviously because I'm, halfling, just duck low, just walked back out, then just around to the other side, came back out to the floor, and basically almost wearing the same attire, except it's now silver trim, and my Seven Cats badge, which would normally be silver, is now silver, but it has encrusted diamonds on the inside, etc., that type of thing. So it's spruiked up a bit. But if anyone was paying attention, it would have been very, very quick and unusual that I was able to just go and be in different clothes. But anyway, just saying.
Also be an 8 out of 10. Marcus, what was your d10 roll?
Marcus has gone for the classic velvet baggy jumpsuit with a 3. That goes all the way down to the navel.
After being
It's
impressed
beautiful.
by his style choices for me, I still think he looks better than me.
Yeah. And it's all about attitude also. Is there anything you wish to do before you make your way to the palace? Marcus?
Marcus doesn't know much about the palace, so love to do a quick bit of gossip catching up on who's who in the zoo. So if there's any way that we can stop off, see some courtiers that may be there or palace staff there, stop by and then gently drop the, "Oh, you look dreadfully important. We're off to see some people there and just looking for your insight and in the courts itself."
You come across an older lady. She looks to be in her mid 60s to mid to late 60s. And this is just, you guys have traversed out. This is in a garden not so far from the palace. It is quite close. She has got her like platinum hair tied up into a high bun, and there's not a single flyaway. Like she is poised. And she looks you up and down, and she looks at your outfit, and she focuses on your navel for a moment. And she then looks back up at you, and she goes, "I'm sorry, could repeat your question?"
Madam, you are a vision of loveliness, and if we had the time, I would love to do your portrait. But however, we're looking for your courtly insight at this moment. We're off to go and see those within, and interested to see how not to upset the local royalty and the local dignitaries in that place. Any pointers you can make, madam, and you know, kind of, I will kind of suck it in a bit.
I assume you have an invitation.
Oh, madam, we wouldn't dare step on land without it. But again, I am new to this place, and I'm seeking to make the best impression possible. And then kind of do a power stance.
Where are you from?
We've travelled far, madam. You can see we're a diverse group.
Well, that does not answer the question. Where are you from, sir?
I cannot answer my colleagues, but we have travelled far, and I would like to tell you where I'm from. However, as you can tell from my accent, I'm a man of many locales.
Make a standard charisma check for me, please.
Oh, sure. A massive 10. That's half of 20, Emily. So, you know, close to a crit right there.
She looks at you and she says, "I wasn't asking in an accusatory fashion. I was more just interested to get to know you." And she does look you up and down once more.
Madam, I'm flattered beyond words. However, our time here is short, and your wisdom and knowledge is what we seek.
It's a shame that your time is short. Who are you meeting with? Maybe I can give you some specific pointers.
Gesture broadly to Scarlet.
My lady, we are meeting
You.
with Reyella Nightlock.
Reyella Nightlock, you say? Okay, well, you needn't worry about impressing anyone. She is, how do I put this politely? She's the closest thing to, at least in my opinion, common folk. While the Queen sees she has import, she's not exactly a lady of stature. Immature, if you ask me.
Well, perhaps the Queen is in such a position where she is able to recognize with more insight what makes someone valuable.
It depends on what you consider valuable.
Well, being that she's the Queen, whatever she considers valuable is more so.
In some places.
In everywhere that she is Queen.
Well, lovely chatting. You needn't worry about anything, except maybe the company you keep, she says to you, Marcus. And she says, if you find yourself staying for longer, I'm usually around, at least in the courts. Some of us are actually important. And she looks at you, Scarlet.
And yet I'm the one that's meeting with the Queen today and you are not. I guess you can go back to being around the courts then, rather than in them proper.
She does not answer you, and she looks at you once more, Marcus, and she says, good luck, lovely to meet you. And she walks away.
Marcus, for a fraction of a second, pauses and then realizes Scarlet just basically broke someone's nose and then decides not to follow that line of conversation. And everyone knows, like, okay. So, well, to the palace.
To the palace.
Anyone else doing anything before you arrive?
I'm taking in this whole conversation, this duality between Scarlet's previous demeanor and the new one.
And Velendar hasn't said a word since Scarlet emerged in this dress. Has just silent contemplation of this vision before them.
I'm checking my inventory, just making sure that I've got everything right. I've got a little like kind of chest, like a ornate chest, because we're going to the palace.
Beautiful.
Full of what?
Surprise.
None of your business, Ben.
It's full of his ass
As
funds,
you-
okay?
Yeah. Yeah, ass funds and things that make you poop.
Things that make you go poop. Things
Things that make you go poop.
Yeah,
Poop.
I'm so glad.
I feel like that's going to be like the first properly like good clip from the first session. And thank you, Ben. That's brilliant.
Wow, what are you trying to say, bro?
I just feel like that's top tier clippage right there. What?
As you make your way towards the palace, you do notice now that the day is getting on later, that the entire Vigora has suddenly woken up and everyone seems to be going about. All of the Emberfest decorations have been taken down. All of those fairy lights that were hanging across the cityscape, they are all gone now. The streets are starting to become quite clean, where there were previously, food containers and a couple of things thrown around here or there. These signs of basically imagine your local version of the Melbourne show or the Ekka or whatever your local version of the show is. And now it looks exactly how you expect it to look. Thank you, Automod, for holding for sex words. And as you approach, there is a guard. You look up at the castle itself, and you are very aware that the only other place in Durmada that has a ruler of sorts in royalty is in Sadiva. So a castle is not a regular sight to be seen unless you are in fact in Agora or Sadiva. And as you approach and you look up, it is incredibly marvelous. It is made of a smooth opal-like stone. And as the sun hits it, there is like an iridescent reflection off of it. And in certain lights, you can almost see like a rainbow being cast. It's very, very it's a sight to be had. And you see as these guards in dark navy threads and bright silver armor are standing at the mouth of a bridge that leads into this castle. They do in fact stop you. They don't look aggressive. but they do stop you. A human with almost Prince Charming slicked back blonde hair stops you, and he goes, "Yeah, what business have you got?"
We have an appointment, my good chap.
With who?
Step back and look at Scarlet. Look at Scarlet again, and this time Marcus is watching for the interaction with a mild smirk on his face. Scarlet?
We have an appointment with Reyella Nightlock, handmaiden to the Queen.
And you are?
I'm Scarlet Bell.
Scarlet Bell. Yeah, all right. And you watch as his fellow guardsman does run off. You are very aware that magic is not used, so everything is done manually, particularly in Agora. And as this gentleman runs off, you're kind of standing there for a few minutes. It's a little bit awkward. This gentleman's looking at you up and down. You notice he's chewing on something. Not sure if it's like a gum or something reminiscent of tobacco, something like that. But he is kind of looking at you all. He does stop on you, Velendar, and just looks you up and down as someone that is wearing darker attire than the rest of the group and does look slightly shadier. He does rest his eyes on you.
Scarlet will actually put her gloved arm through Velendar's and rest it on top of his hand as if he's escorting her.
And he will 100% go with that seamlessly.
This guard looks at you, Scarlet, and then looks back at Velendar, and then just seems to move on. After a few moments, the other guard returns, and you watch as these two guards have a very brief conversation. And then moments later, you watch as Reyella Nightlock, as you would remember her, Scarlet, Vigmund, and Sol, makes her way out across the bridge. And she looks nonchalant to see you. For you, Marcus, and you, Velendar, what you see is a human. She's roughly 5'11". She has this incredibly gorgeous, like red auburn hair that hangs in very voluminous curls. But there are two braids that just pull the front of her hair off her head to keep it out of her eyes. Her eyes are like an icy blue color, but they are incredibly vibrant. She has this beautiful sun-kissed olive complexion, and she's wearing a very dark cloak. It is almost black, almost green, and she is underneath wearing a dark black dress with gold embellishments on it. And she looks at you, you Scarlet, you Vigmund, and you Sol, and she says, "You picked up some strays."
We're adorable.
Allow me to introduce myself, madam. I'm Farius Vermeer, a partial stakeholder in a number of enterprises in Namrita. It is such a pleasure to meet you.
And she holds out her hand to you, as if like just touching it to not shake it, but acknowledge you. And she goes, "Namrita, I haven't been out there myself in a while. Lovely to meet someone from that neck of the woods. And you?" And she looks at you, Marcus.
Marcus Strode, madam, at your service.
I will hold you to that, Marcus. And she looks back at you, Scarlet, and she says, "I must say, an incredible fight last night. Incredible. Very impressive."
Why, thank you. My technique was definitely improved by the time I spent with another fighter who was used to the more performance side of things.
Wow, that was a deep.
That was the sound.
Everyone else can hide their being celebration.
Yep, it has prompted me. Yeah.
Fuck. Reyella does look at you, Sol, and she does look at you for a moment and say, I must admit I wasn't expecting you to come, particularly after our conversation last night, but I'm impressed that you did.
Look, I'm forever intrigued about Agora, so I couldn't give up a good opportunity.
Do you, Vigmund? Any baked goods for us today?
Indeed, madam. As you always expect the finest baked goods. Sorry, I got ice in my mouth.
Vigmund, have some respect.
You have some arse in your mouth? Well, they were very tasty.
How very distasteful
for a cocktail with ice in it.
No.
Goods.
Night Saz. Reyella looks at you all and she says, well, no use dilly-dallying. Inside we go. Shall we? And she leads you all towards the castle for the first time for all of you. And it is weird. None of you really, except for maybe Marcus or Vigmund, expected that they would ever really make it through the walls of the castle, at least invited. At least invited. And as you make your way through, you do feel the eyes of these guards watching you walk through with curiosity. And as you enter the castle, we're going to leave it there for tonight, for episode 1. Thank you.
The castle.
Yeah, you did. Thank you so much to all of you for all of your poop jokes.
Oh my god.
Incredible roleplay.
Who doesn't like lowbrow potty stuff?
Look, I'm so happy that happened to you, Emily.
All the people that deserve that treatment in a D&D campaign, it is absolutely myself. I think I have bullied everyone in this group at least once, whether on or off stream, in some sort of a TTRPG capacity. So absolute karma, if you ask me.
Definitely on and off screen for me.
Speaking of the cats, where are they at?
Yeah. Apologies for any interruptions from that. I had to get up and sort them out before, but one of them is
they were
asleep.
having an actual fight.
Yeah. One of them is dead asleep on the couch. I'm not too sure where the other guy is.
It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much to all of you. This, for those of you who don't know, this campaign campaign was supposed to launch last September, and then life got in the way. And I think Promethean and I challenged each other to make campaigns when I want to say
A while back.
July last year.
Before the ridiculously ages ago that both of our campaigns were supposed to start, that's for sure.
I think we were both maybe. Wait, it would be funny if we both started campaigns in September.
How sick would that be?
Neither of us did. So thank you so much.
1 year later.
For all of your patience. We do have someone else that will be joining the player cast soon. So keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, thank you to the chat and to all of the viewers. Thank you to Maple Dragon Syrup Knight, who has done all of our fabulous artwork that you see below me. We're going to go around, and I would love for you to all share where we can find you. And I don't know, give me a fun fact or something silly to end the night. We'll go in the opposite direction that we went at the start of the night. Tammy, who are you? Where can we find you? Tell us something fun.
Okay, so I'm Tammy. You can find me as Talera79 on Twitter. or hanging around in people's discords and chats and stuff like that. Or according to Shadowmere at the start of the night, commentating. Usually when Hamish is playing games, you can hear me yelling out in the background with a various form of commentary. Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Fun fact. Oh, about the game, the character, or real life?
Anything. Whatever you feel like sharing.
The poop of a wombat is cube-shaped.
Whoa.
Okay.
In poop thing.
Love that.
So
Love that. Poop
it's
facts.
like Tetris when it comes. Then sorry.
Yeah.
Ben, who are you? Where can we find you? Give us a fun fact.
I am a part of the Fade Script stream. You can find me on Tuesdays at 6:45 playing along with Emily, for our season 2 game of Fade Script in Vim. Fun fact about me: I have a level 77 rogue in Diablo 4.
That is fun, Ben. That's very fun.
Hey, you got excited.
Jealous, excited. Yeah.
Deetwenty, who are you? Where can we find you? And give us a fun fact.
Okay. Well, I'm me. I've still been me and I will be me. Fun fact for you is you can stuff over 500 humanoid skeletons into a bag of holding and still get away with it.
Oh.
Thank you, Jeremy Crawford.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Love that. Great. Super glad I learnt that. Chris, Ito, your turn. Fun fact. Who are you? Where can we find you?
I'll go backwards. Well, probably find me here. It has been probably, what, a year and a half since I've actually streamed and played.
It's been longer, actually.
Longer,
Oh,
yeah.
no, you were
2
there
years,
for episode
maybe.
50.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking, like, but I actually think, yeah, nearly 2 years since, leaving the core of the campaign there. So, man, oh my gosh, this brings back so much. So, yeah,
Yeah.
really enjoying it. Happy to be a guest. So you'll be able to find me here. That's where you'll be able to find me. As far as fun fact, a bit of a nerd, but I'm not gaming at the moment as far as like console or anything like that. But I do like painting minis. I like printing minis, and I've kind of got that to a good place. So if anyone wants to chat about that stuff, let me know.
Warhammer days.
Yeah, there you go. The other fun fact: I play Warhammer with Chris.
Yeah.
Hey.
What?
That's too many fun facts.
Yeah,
Calm
I'm
down.
throwing out my fun facts like Skittles.
Your quota, bro. Your quota.
Whoa.
You get no. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, wait till next week.
No, you get none next
Promethean.
week.
Who are you?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I'm Promethean. There's 0 in it. You will find me there, everywhere, socials, here on Twitch. You'll find me here. You'll find me on the OzQuest channel on Sunday, running the second session of my campaign that Emily's a player in, amongst other very, very cool people, who are all so much cooler than I am. It's ridiculous. You'll also find me on the Meeples and Dragons channel, playing there. I'm freaking everywhere. It's been a week. Let me tell you. Fun fact, this was fun as hell, and I'm looking forward to more. Emily, now that well, here you go. Fun fact: Emily did a wonderful job.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a fucking delight to continue.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm going to ignore all compliments. I am very aware that our stream is glitching a little bit, and it's because I have a raid lined up. My name is Emily. I am this person now in the Echoes of Divinity campaign. But on Tuesdays at 6:45, I played Luna Tarot in the Fate Script campaign season 2. I played Malia Redwood in the OzQuest campaign this coming Sunday. And Scream Team Sundays are a thing. Thirsty Thursdays are a thing. There's so much stuff that we have going on at the moment. So you know, if you're as big as a spaghetti jar, make sure you come back here and hang out with us. Thank you so much. We're gonna go on over and raid a good friend of the stream. We're gonna go raid Red. So please stick around and send your love there. Thank you, everyone. Wave out and have a wonderful
Are we just
night.
not going to give Tabby a fun fact real quick? Go.
We did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Wombat
Yeah.
Poo.
Oh, you did the one back. You're up top. That's why I missed it. I'm so sorry.
Just fun fact there.
No, it was Ben adding 7 million fun facts that confused us.
I threw it off. It's my fault.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Quick, wave. Have a wonderful night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Until then, namaste. Have a good one.
Namago.